champs!
Introducing first the challengers, the team of the Cajun Kid, and the Huntsman, Jay Marston, the Hatekeepers.
The Hatekeepers are live in St. Charles, Missouri for Glory Pro Wrestling live at AnimeCon. Shane Boucher and the Huntsman Jay Marston ready for tag team action.
WWE ID Women's Champion, and the defending United Glory Tag Team Champions, the Collab.
The United Glory Tag Team Champions in a shock victory, winning the titles in a huge three-way tag team match at the end of March in Edwardsville for Moose Mania. The Collab, Laynie Luck, the WWE ID Women's Champion, and her partner, Heartbreak Core Shazza McKenzie. They defend the Tag Team Championship here this afternoon in St. Charles at AnimeCon against the Hatekeepers, Jay Marston and Shane Boucher, and what a boost for their career it would be to win the titles. Shazza and Laynie always up to have a little bit of fun, but they know the disrespectful style of the Hatekeepers, and they are not going to play that game because they already know what the Hatekeepers are going to try to do. They're going to try and underestimate the tag team champions, realizing that obviously, there's a gender difference, but that does not matter in that ring because Shazza McKenzie and Laynie Luck are two of the most accomplished wrestlers, period, across the United States today. And Laynie taking back the United Glory Tag Team Championship, handing it to referee Jerry Rooney. Again, titles on the line this afternoon in St. Charles. Laynie Luck, the WWE ID Women's Champion, going to start things off with the Huntsman Jay Marston. And this crowd fully in favor of the Collab here this afternoon in St. Charles. Jay Marston, again, ready to start things off, but trying to lead something on with the referee here. And Laynie Luck trying to tell Jay Marston, you need to lock in, dude, because you are in the ring with the WWE ID Women's Champion, one of the greatest wrestlers on the independent wrestling scene, period, today. Laynie Luck has proven herself in St. Louis, in the Midwest, and in every other region of the country as a viable contender for any championship, a viable defending champion for any championship, and a viable contender for one of the greatest wrestlers in the country. And now Laynie Luck with Jay Marston early on. Jay Marston, however, turns it around. And Laynie Luck now caught with that wrist lock, and Laynie Luck, nice resorte as she reverses out of that thing. Went for a right hand, and Jay Marston not going to fall for it. He's going to go outside and regroup. Shane Boucher going to help him out. This crowd none too eager to call Jay Marston a scaredy cat, and he gives a quick tag to Shane Boucher, the Cajun Kid. And Shazza McKenzie tagged in now. Shazza McKenzie, you know, a very interesting competitor. Jay Marston tagged back in, and, well, not for long. Shane Boucher's back in already, and now Shazza McKenzie ducks a couple of shots, and there's a knife-edge chop to Shane Boucher. Ducks a couple of shots again, and I believe Shane's learning very quickly that Shazza McKenzie does her homework, and Shazza McKenzie's accomplished for a reason. Off the Mahi Straw Cradle, a kick out from Shane Boucher, tag in to Laynie Luck. Shazza sends Boucher off the ropes. Oh man, Shane Boucher caught a little bit of an innovative offense there, if you will. Kick out off the cover from Laynie Luck. Nice uppercut into the whip elbow in the corner. Tag into Shazza. Shazza with a nice forearm. Trips up Shane Boucher. And a Bronco Buster in the corner off the assist from Laynie Luck. And now, Jay Marston was just tripped up with a drop toe hold into the boot of his own tag team partner. Here's Laynie Luck. Nice vertical suplex with a bridge. 2 count. Called by referee Jerry Looney. And now, front chancery applied from Laynie Luck as she backs herself and Shane Boucher into the corner to tag in her partner, Shazza McKenzie. And for the gut buster, Shane Boucher not going to let it happen. Jay Marston with a cheap shot to Laynie Luck. Sends her out of the ring, and Shazza's caught. And a wishbone. That doesn't feel good for anybody. I mean, that could easily break a pelvis. And Shazza McKenzie feeling the pain. Jay Marston going to pick her back up and throw her into the Hatekeepers corner. Right where he needs and wants her to be in this matchup. If they want to win tag team gold, one of your best bets is to keep your opponent in your own corner. Cut that ring in half, and that's exactly what the Hatekeepers know how to do best. The Collab and the Hatekeepers all very well experienced in tag team wrestling action, both with their current partners and with those of the past. Shazza McKenzie collapsing out of the corner off the Irish whip from Shane Boucher. Laynie Luck reaching for the tag here. Shane Boucher standing on the hand, trying to pick up Shazza here. Backs her into the corner, tag into Jay Marston.
5 minutes left in the match. 5 minutes down.
Double Irish whip. Oh man, fakes out Shazza. She thought she was going to have an easy shot at the tag, but the Hatekeepers showing Shazza, you know, we know a little bit more than maybe you thought we did, at least in that moment. Shazza knows that these two are nothing to mess with based on their tactics and their ability in the ring. But a nice Hurricane Rana out of the corner, and Shazza McKenzie finds the opening. Roll through, went for the tag, but nobody home as Shane Boucher pulled Laynie Luck off the apron on the opposite side of the ring. And now Shazza brought back to the Hatekeepers corner. Being choked with the knee against that bottom turnbuckle here from the Huntsman Jay Marston, tagging to Shane Boucher. And Shane going to continue to stomp away on Heartbreak Killer Shazza McKenzie. Shazza got her start in wrestling over in Sydney, Australia, where she was born and raised. In companies such as Pro Wrestling Australia, PWA Black Label, and she's really made a name for herself over the years in professional wrestling. Moving to the United States a couple of years ago permanently off of a couple of residencies that she had experienced over the years of her career. Shazza McKenzie has thrived since moving to the United States, and now Shane Boucher, however, tagged in because the Hatekeepers, they are also well accomplished in their own careers. Again, singles and tag team action. Jay Marston and Shane Boucher, products of the Black and Brave Wrestling Academy. Cover, that'll press only a 2 count. Shane Boucher, very good at cutting the ring in half again, the Hatekeepers. And also playing those mind games, trying to piss off the partners of their opponents that are legal in the ring to try and, not only light a fire, but try to mock them. And now Shazza ducks the double team attack, hind waist lock. Marston has her in trouble. Kick to Boucher after Marston tried for a full Nelson slam. Shazza gets out of there, goes behind. Oh no! Marston face first into the crown jewels of Shane Boucher. And now Laynie Luck, the WWE ID Women's Champion, gonna take it to the Hatekeepers. There's a reason that Laynie Luck is one of the hottest and most talented WWE ID prospects that we know of to this day, and that's because she has worked her ass off to become as good as she is. And what a Hurricane Rana into a spear on Shane Boucher from Jay Marston. Cover. And this is the best kind of tag team offense. Not only great tag team, double team maneuvers where you can work with your partner to take out 1 or 2 opponents, or you can work by yourself to take out both opponents, especially when you're using one opponent to take out the other. Here we go, tandem Irish whips. The Collab slides to the outside. Hatekeepers over the top rope to the apron and a double penalty kick on the outside. And now Shazza being thrown under that bottom rope again. What a kick from Shane Boucher. Jay Marston, sick kick. Center of the ring, that could be it. New champs? No. Laynie Luck breaks up the pin. Nice move from Laynie Luck, big super kick to Shane Boucher. Shazza's in again, here we go. Double baseball slide under the ropes, tripping up Jay Marston. Both stepping in, bulldog elbow combination from the Collab. Showing why they're called the Collab. Nice gutbuster on the knees. And now Shazza and Laynie, super kick V-trigger combo. Here we go, this could be it. Cover. And the Collab retain the titles.
Shazza McKenzie and Laynie Luck, the Collab.
Impressive tag team title retention from the Collab here this afternoon in St. Charles at AnimeCon with Glory Pro Wrestling.
Is set for one fall. Introducing first from St. Louis, weighing 208 pounds, here is the man who is always ready to deliver, and the leader of Team Moses, the Deliverer, Moses.
You heard ring announcer Ben Simon say it best, always ready to deliver. The leader of Team Moses, the deliverer himself, Moses, ready for singles action. Hey fans, I'm the voice of the Indies, Robert Leach, back with you with Glory Pro Wrestling live from St. Charles, Missouri at AnimeCon. Oh man, what a treat.
St. Louis, weighing 185 pounds, the Vibe, Chris Hendrix.
The Vibe, Chris Hendrix, ready for singles action against the Deliverer, Moses. Moses, a graduate out of WLW's school with Harley Race as his great trainer. Chris Hendrix, a product out of St. Louis. Trainers such as Camaro Jackson and Warhorse Jake Parnell. Here we go, singles action underway. Chris Hendrix and Moses. Wow, Moses gonna take over Chris Hendrix early. Hind waistlock takedown, and now just rubbing salt in the wound. Push-ups on the back of Chris Hendrix. Trying to snuff that Vibe as soon as he can, but I don't think that's going to work. Moses, not necessarily the most endearing person as of late. Moses was unsuccessful in his chance at the Crown of Glory Championship at Moose Mania in Edwardsville, Illinois, at the end of March. And, you know, some might say that it was at the hands of the Revolution, but Moses really wanted to cheat to win that match, and the Revolution just aren't about that. And as the leader of Team Moses, Moses believes in doing whatever you have to do to win. And, you know, there's a certain level of sportsmanship that you should probably stand up for as well. And now, nice evenly paced match right now. Chris Hendrix springboard Hurricane Rana in the center of the ring. Beautiful move. Chris Hendrix coming in hot. Oh, Moses out of the way. Chris Hendrix hanging on, up and over. Nice quarter roll into the center. Beautiful drop kick right on the money. And the Deliverer, Moses, feeling every ounce of the pain here. Chris Hendrix follows suit on the outside, but Moses is given just enough time to recuperate, at least momentarily, as Chris Hendrix prevents himself from going face first into those steel steps. Now Moses sent back into the ring. Chris Hendrix coming in. Moses tries to capitalize with an elbow. Chris Hendrix has absolutely done his homework. Chris Hendrix has been desperate for a shot on the main roster at Glory Pro Wrestling for a long time. Oh man, Moses got the knees up off that slingshot swanton attempt. Chris Hendrix has wanted this very badly for a long time, and what a victory it would be to defeat Moses. To defeat a main roster player when you have been working hard trying to get off that pre-show for a while. And now Moses picking up Chris Hendrix in the corner. Shoulder to the tailbone of Chris Hendrix here. Chris is in a world of hurt. But he's trying to keep up those good vibes. That's why they call him the Vibe. He knows the vibe. But whatever the vibe needs to be, he knows it. And he tries to produce that, and he tries to portray that in every one of his matches. But now Moses with knees to the spine here. And Moses, again, knee to the back. Covered, hook of both legs. Only a 2 count called by referee Jerry Looney. Now Moses gonna tie up Chris Hendrix. I don't know, looking for some sort of a surfboard maneuver. Moses trying to gain enough momentum to pick up Chris Hendrix with those knees, and he's got him here. Chris Hendrix is bent completely in half backwards, and this cannot be good. But Chris Hendrix reverse, nice lateral press, very nice reversal. Veteran-like instincts from Chris Hendrix, the young rookie out of St. Louis, but a German suplex from Moses cuts him right back down.
Come on, Chris.
And now Chris Hendrix caught by Moses. Overhead belly to belly suplex. Moses dealing the pain to the Vibe, Chris Hendrix. Chris Hendrix caught in a gut wrench and being spun around by Moses here, the Deliverer, trying to deliver a beating to Chris Hendrix and prove why he's the leader of Team Moses. A lot of momentum that needs to be recaptured on the hands of the Deliverer Moses, but a lot of momentum that needs to be found at the hands of the Vibe Chris Hendrix, and that's what he looks to do here tonight if he can find an opening against Moses. Moses known for stalking his opponents. A great amateur style in that ring, great technical style from the Deliverer Moses. However, Chris Hendrix, he's done a lot of studying, and he's known Moses for a long time, and he understands that taking down Moses is going to be no small task, and he's definitely not going to take it lightly. Chris Hendrix using the ring, great instincts, great awareness, using the ring to his advantage to try and break out of that hold, which he does, at least for the time being. Goes behind Moses, catches Moses with a German suplex. This crowd firmly behind Chris Hendrix, who found the opening that I just mentioned, that opening that he needs. And Moses back up, charges, but caught with a clothesline. And now Chris Hendrix, a house of fire. Nice elbow. Coming in hot, catches the clothesline attempt, swings him around. Nice neck breaker. And a nice kip up. Chris Hendrix is feeling the energy, feeling the power from this crowd, charging in, but caught with a boot from Moses. This can't be good. You got to try and find a reversal spot here. Nice, landing on his feet after the back suplex attempt. Shoves Moses down to the mat. Code Red Bomb in the center of the ring cover. 2 count, barely got the shoulder up, did the Deliverer Moses. Chris Hendrix calling for the finishing touch, calling for the end of this match, trying to put away the Deliverer. Double leg takedown from Moses. There's that amateur style I was talking about. And now here comes the technical style, looking for a Boston Crab. Chris Hendrix tries to wiggle out of there. Roll up, has the legs, 2. No, very close call, only a 2 count. Moses catches the clothesline attempt. Here's the backslide, 1. 2, still only a 2 count. Very close call. Double leg from Chris Hendrix now. Nice bridge. Great power from Moses here. Looking for another backslide, but Chris Hendrix won't let it happen. Headbutt from the back of the head. O'Connor roll. Reverse. Schoolboy from Moses. Chris Hendrix kicks out, and Moses now back into the Boston Crab. And Chris Hendrix forced to tap out. What a valiant effort, but Moses picks up the submission win.
17-year winner by Boston Crab submission, the Deliverer, Moses.
The Deliverer, Moses, definitely realized that he needed to regain some momentum after his loss to Kody in Edwardsville at the end of March. And that he did by defeating Chris Hendrix in such a valiant, dominant fashion in front of the crowd in St. Charles at Anime Con with Glory Pro Wrestling. It's always an honor to see the Street Reaper, Mike Outlaw, in a ring. And tonight, Mike Outlaw with an impressive opportunity at hand. Somebody that Mike Outlaw knows very, very well from his past. Since they both started, they came up together, they traveled the roads together, they formed partners, they formed rivals, and tonight they're opponents again. Dan the working man Adams, no longer anybody's father. Dan the dad out the window, the working man, Dan Adams, ready for competition for the Crown of Glory Championship. But here is one of the Glory Pro fan favorite competitors, and what a joy it would be to see this young man rise to the top and win that championship. Ethan Price, the big strong boy, ready for four-way action. Left. Your currently defending Crown of Glory champion. Kody, Koko Laynie, one of the most prized possessions of Savannah, Oklahoma, and one of the biggest fans of one of the two Tennessee treasures, Dolly Rebecca Parton.
All right, fans, here we go. This contest, one fall with a 30-minute limit for the Crown of Glory Championship. Your referee is Jerry Looney. Introducing the challengers. First, from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing 222 pounds, here is the former champion. He is the Street Reaper, Mike Outlaw. Next, from Austin, Texas, he weighs 175 pounds, and he is a big, strong boy, Ethan Price. From St. Louis, Missouri, weighing 202 pounds, Dan, the working man, Adam. And finally, from Savannah, Oklahoma, weighing 203 pounds, he is the defending Crown of Glory champion, the Southern Flamingo, Kody Koko Lane.
The defending Crown of Glory champion against one former Crown of Glory champion, Mike Outlaw. He knows what it takes to win that title. He knows how it feels to be the champion, and he knows the pressure of defending in a four-way match or in any multi-person match for that fact. Ethan Price and Dan the Working Man Adams never able to make it to the glory of the Crown of Glory Championship, but hoping to do so here tonight. This four-way match set for one fall, 30-minute time limit, and Ethan Price gets Dan the Working Man out of there. Street Reaper Mike Outlaw, nice roll up. Again, one fall to the finish. So you're not going to want to let any of your opponents pin somebody else. This is not an elimination style matchup. You need to make sure you're there so you can save the championship for yourself. That's what this is, every man for himself. Ethan Price lands on his feet off the side suplex attempt, but now Dan Adams not going to let Ethan Price capitalize. Dan Adams going to shove Ethan Price spine first into that solid side of the ring. And Dan ducks down off the basement. Drop kick attempt caught with a side suplex onto the apron from the outside by Koko Lane. And there's a nice right hand from the Street Reaper, Mike Outlaw. Outlaw has had his sights on Kody Lane for a long time. Kody Lane holding that Crown of Glory championship that Mike Outlaw once held around his waist, and he wants to do so again. And he knows the only way to be able to surely make sure that Kody Lane does not walk out with that title is by taking him out first and foremost. What a dive from Ethan Price to the outside of the ring, getting this crowd firmly behind him. What exciting, hot, fast-paced action we've seen already in this matchup. And this thing could go upwards of 30 minutes. Again, 30-minute time limit for this Crown of Glory title match. And now, Kody Lane. Ethan Price gets out of the way. Kody Lane comes in hot. Ethan Price out of the way. Kody makes the splash in the corner. Nice overhand chop from Ethan Price. Dan the working man. Fireman's carry. Ethan Price goes behind. Splash from Dan Adams. Mike Outlaw. Oh my God, almost took Ethan Price's whole head off. Irish whip reverse from Ethan Price. Mike Outlaw joins the party in the corner, and there's a big strong boy splash. There's one, there's two, and here comes number 3 to the champ, Koko Lane. Ducks the clothesline, springboard, bulldog, beautiful move. Could we have a new champion? No, Mike Outlaw. Gonna make sure that it's not Ethan Price anyway, and only a 2 count. Mike Outlaw, goes after Ethan Price. Ethan Price comes in hot. Mike Outlaw goes behind. Ethan Price into the corner. Went for a crossbody, but caught with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker from Outlaw. Dan Adams sends Outlaw to the outside and going for the cover on Ethan Price. Only a 2 count. Called by the referee, Jerry Laynie. This action is all over the place. Every man for himself. There must be one winner within the 30-minute time limit, and that winner will be the Crown of Glory champion. Only way to win, pinfall or submission in the ring. And Kody Lane doing a number on Dan the Working Man Adams. Again, Dan Adams beat Everett Connors in Connors' last match in Glory Pro Wrestling at the end of March in Edwardsville, Illinois. But a DDT to Kody Lane has Dan Adams looking good. He looks to continue that momentum that he picked up back in March. Ethan Price as well. Ethan Price in March at the same show picked up a trios tag team victory alongside Tootie Lynn and, of course, Raheem De La Suede against the O'Neal brothers and Logan Cavazos. Nice Irish whip reverse from Dan the Working Man Adams. He's not anyone's dad anymore, he claims. And Adams gonna pick up Ethan Price here, front chancery perhaps. No, he's gonna stuff him. And Mike Outlaw, springboard, nice uppercut. Into a jackknife cover. What a senton from Kody Lane. Kody Lane retained the title at our last show in Edwardsville against none other than the Deliverer, Moses. And Mike Outlaw feeling every ounce of this crowd's energy. Mike Outlaw coming in hot, but Kody Lane not going to let it happen. And now firing up on Dan the Working Man. And Kody Lane sent into the corner off the reversal of the Irish whip, shoulder to the midsection. Nice double stomp across the back. And here comes Kody Lane sending Dan Adams off the ropes. Pop-up powerbomb. Beautiful move from the Southern Flamingo. And Dan Adams hangs in there. This action has been so fast-paced, and the straps come down a second time, meaning Kody Lane is locked in more than ever. And now picking up Dan Adams, looking for the J Driller to put this thing away. Here comes Outlaw. Nice pump kick from Kody Lane. Kip up, fireman's carry. Here we go. Outlaw fresh off a victory against Shane Saber in Edwardsville at the end of March. Nice airplane spin from Kody Lane. Sends Outlaw reeling, but sends himself reeling as well. Full Nelson. Oh my goodness. Could he be looking for a spin out slam? Beautiful maneuver. Great move from Ethan Price. Another German suplex to Dan the Working Man Adams. And he holds on. Rolling through, trying to keep hold of Dan Adams here. On this high waist lock. Oh no. Dan Adams grabs Mike Outlaw. Double German. Ethan Price could have it here. No, so close, but so far. And Ethan Price reeling off the fans' response of "This is awesome." It sure is. This is an exciting, fast-paced championship match. Outlaw went to roll the dice. Ethan Price, fireman's carry. Nice inverted Death Valley driver to Mike Outlaw, but Outlaw rolls to the outside before Ethan Price can get him in a pinning situation. And here's Dan the working man. It's legal. He's got that wrench for the side rush and leg sweep. Anything goes in a four-way match, and here comes Dan Adams, caught with that sudden kick from Koko Lane. And there's the senton. This thing could be over within moments. Koko Lane picks up Dan the working man, looking for the J Driller. Dan's going to deadweight himself, step up enziguri from the Street Reaper, Mike Outlaw. Dan Adams, fireman's carry to Outlaw. Outlaw hanging on for dear life, goes behind, looking to roll the dice. Dan Adams reverse. He rolls the dice into the stunner. Beautiful. Crucifix pin. Kody almost had him there. Outlaw up, ducks the clothesline, looking for an O'Connor roll. He's got him here. Is that it? Two. Reverse. Kody Lane caught with a jackknife pin, rolls through, picking up Outlaw. Looking. J Driller. He got him with it. That's going to be it. Kody Lane retains the title.
At 7:22, your winner by pinfall, and still the Crown Glory champion, Kody.
An amazing victory in just 7 minutes, 22 seconds. Still the Crown of Glory champion, as our wonderful ring announcer Ben Simon said, Kody Lane. This has been Glory Pro Wrestling live in St. Charles, Missouri at AnimeCon. I'm the voice of the Indies, Robert Leach. And what a retention of the title from Kody Lane in this four-way exciting contest.